G'day guys and welcome back to Jans_gaming for another Dokkan battle video. So today's video we're going to be doing a tier list for the current 200% leader skills on global. I wanted to get this one in and out before the Orange Piccolo and Beast Gohan do drop. We know that they're incoming, so thought let's jump in and have a look at it. So this is what we've got down below. I have figured out who I am going to sort of order this with, and we're going to start right down the bottom, and we're going to start off with Ginyu. So some of this is sort of based upon what we have now and what we're potentially going to get, and because of that, Ginyu does fall to number 10. He is a terrifying Conqueror's lead, but predominantly you're just using him on that Ginyu Force team, and because of that, there is a lot of synergy with the team at the moment, but those units are just starting to age out. We've got a lot of EZAs for them. We're probably not going to get new Ginyu Force units for a while, and because of that, they probably are going to fall away, unfortunately. But still a very fun team. They can get through a lot of the difficult content at the moment, but yeah, just due to limitations and lack of release, Ginyu does fall to number 10. So number 9, we've got the Super Saiyan Tech Goku. For this category, it is quite top heavy. You've got a number of really good LRs in there because if you would have noticed that all the revive units do actually appear on the powerful comeback category. But just because you've got a lot of LRs doesn't necessarily mean that is going to be very synergy. The team's going to have a lot of synergy, sorry. A lot of the units don't work crazily well together, and it does lack support. And support is just such a key part of the game at this time. Units that do have a lot of versatility with dodging, orb changing, key and defense support. So sort of steers away or hurts this category a little bit. Not to mention that having so many revive characters, you don't want to be using multiple of them on a team. Especially with this Tech Super Saiyan Goku, he does get hurt if you do have a revive popped already and you can't get the second revive off. So yeah, just because of those sort of risks, I drop him down to 9. So at number 8, I've got the AGL Cell. One of those units that is crazy good in their best situation, but probably lacking partners at the moment, and that's why he's fallen so low. There is a lot of potential for this unit to really bump up. We do have the Gammas already on the category, but then you can also expect a Cell Max at some point that could be a really good unit. But you look at the sort of Android side of things, there's a lot of synergy on the team, a lot of supports, but other than this upcoming movie stuff, we probably won't see a great deal of releases in regards to the artificial life form, so that could definitely hurt Cell going into the future. So you get that 1 or 2 a year potentially. It just forces the team to age out a bit quicker than a lot of these other teams that I've ranked above. So one of those teams is the Int Margin Vegeta team. So we've got the Vegeta family, is a team that we get pretty decent amount of buffs for. It's way better now than when it did come out. This team, you add in Vegeta and Trunks, a real top tier unit. Quite a few orb changes, supports, stackers and whatnot, so a bit of versatility for all the different kinds of events, which really does make this category jump up quite a little bit higher. Running 2 Margin Vegetas on the team isn't really a detriment because of the defensive build behind the team. So yeah, definitely not a bad option there, sitting at number 7. So into number 6, I have gone with the physical Super Saiyan 4s. So they do lead. Actually, no. You know what? I'm going to change this up. I'm going to bring you up to there, and I'm going to bring you in here. So I'm going to go with number 6, and we're going to go the physical metal cooler. It is really top tier at the moment with that Wicked Bloodlines 200%. Crazy offensive team, has a lot of defensive options as well. Can really mix well with the sort of slot 1 units like the Golden Freezers. Then have crazy offensive units like the STR Cooler, well, both the SDR cores in slot 2. So really powerful team. The one thing that does hurt the Wicked Bloodline team is the release schedule. You you sort of just get the sporadic releases. It's not a consistent stream like the teams that are a little further up, but still really good at the moment. A good number of supporters, defensive stackers. So yeah, definitely a really good option to run here. Then, as I've changed it on the trot, I've gone with the physical Super Saiyan 4s in at number 5. Definitely can run 2 of them on a team. That is the other thing, that once you do get off that revive with Metal Cooler, you can't get it again, obviously. But 2 Super Saiyan 4s, not the worst option. The GT Heroes side of their team has a crazy amount of synergy. Um, Really good linking partners, orb changes, but they're sort of teetering on the edge of getting aged out here. GT doesn't get a crazy amount of additions to it either. I know a lot of people are expecting a new Super Saiyan 4 Goku very soon, and that would really help this team. But the benefit is that it's also got the fused fighter for that other 170% there. And in that team, you've got quite a few utility units like dodgers, healers, good tanks, and whatnot. And then you've also got the fact that fusion units are very common to be released during sort of our top celebrations. Things like download celebration, anniversary, you can expect a lot of fusions. So while the releases may not be crazy regular, that they are extremely powerful units, and they are generally the top tier units in the game for us. Um, Brings me to number 4. I've gone with the STR Goku and Gohan. Crazy options, top heavy. This team really does have it all. You could probably argue that they could slide into number 3. The only thing that with this team is you don't necessarily like running 2 of the leader. That does hurt it. But when you think about it, we're getting kabillions of Goku family units, which is the 170, and same with Super Saiyan, and that will always continue. The only thing is that the extra 30% is to the Android Cell Saga. I don't know how long it'll be until we head back to there, but yeah, very specific in terms of the 200%, which does sort of drop them a little bit on my tier list. So after them, into number 3, I do have the STR Cooler. So 170 is the movie bosses and Terrifying Conqueror. 2 categories that if you're getting a villain, you can pretty much guarantee that they're going to be on one of those 2 categories. So super good. Like I mentioned with the Metal Cooler, it is a very diverse team. We've got a number of slot 1 units, as well as also a lot of offensive juggernauts like itself. And because we do have those slot 1 units, we are able to utilize Cooler to the best of his ability. In slot 2, add in superpower supports like the SDR Cooler, Kaliza. This team just has so much utility that it is hard to not put them near the top. But they do fall a little bit short, as we do have the Int, Trunks and Vegeta. What can be said about them? One of the best units in the game. They've got a huge category that is always going to be getting tons of releases, because any Goku pretty much, and most Vegetas all Vegetas after the Android Cell Saga are on the category. A lot of joined forces units on the category also. Crazy good for difficult content. If it wasn't for our number 1 leader skill in the game, you would definitely argue that that is the number 1. So in number 1, I have cheated a little bit. I am going to double up with these 2, because they are pretty much on the same tier, and I will generally run them pretty much together. Depending on what other extra units you want to bring on the team, you're basically making the most of their movie heroes lead, and then you've either got the Beyond Super Saiyan or the Pure Saiyan extra 30% there. So you look at the Pure Saiyan, you can bring in units like the God Ku, or Kamehameha, sorry, was the God's extra 30%. So that can help you with other units that don't necessarily aren't pure Saiyans. So what needs to be said about the movie Heroes category? Um, it's got a crazy roster at the moment. It's only going to get better as we get the physical Piccolo and the Beast Gohan. The physical Piccolo, the orange Piccolo, sorry, that are about to come out in the next 2 weeks. Constant upgrades. Um, yeah, yeah. There's not much that needs to be said. You've got defensive versatility, offensive juggernauts, crazy supports. This team's just as good as it comes at the moment in Dokkan, and if you do need to get through some form of difficult content, I know this is the first team that I will bring to smash that out. And you look at a unit like the AGL, Goku and Vegeta, you can bring the Int, Trunks and Vegeta on that team, and yeah, there's just so many top tier options, and there will continue to be. So that's why those two units sit at the top of my 200% leader skill. That does leave us with the Tech Pan. Look, Bond of Friendship just isn't too crazy. It's got some top tier options, but it didn't really add much in the terms of the extra 30% leader skill. You got the physical Raditz. He is an absolute dud by himself. Saiyan Saga is barely existent, and then Space Traveling Warriors as an extra 30% didn't really have a great deal to offer. And then we add in the ROF Blues, who while they're fun, they're again pretty disappointing themselves. Realm of Gods and Mastered Evolution is solid, but we haven't really seen a lot of buffs in that regard of late. So that team has sort of fallen away there. So that's my tier list of units that I believe had the better leader skills in Dokkan at the moment. Let me know your thoughts down below. Feel free to disagree, because there's obviously a lot of bias in these type of tier lists of who you like to use the most. So I'd like to hear your thoughts down below. So thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to keep up with the content, and hopefully I'll catch you all on the next video.